Clubhouse. It's the latest hyped up, invite-only mobile app that you should be very concerned about.
If you haven't signed up for it yet, you should be even more concerned because chances are somebody who has your phone number has already shared all your personal information with Clubhouse, and they can do tons of stuff with it, even not being on the app.
At a high level, Clubhouse, which by the way is reportedly already valued at $1 billion. It's an iPhone app with an Android version coming soon.
It allows users to speak on and listen to audio-only chat rooms, so kind of a podcast meets panel discussion type of deal. You can virtually raise your hand, ask panelists a question, pretty interactive stuff. Pretty similar also to the old AOL chat rooms, if you remember those from back in the day, which also got pretty creepy pretty fast.
Currently free, Clubhouse will be monetizing soon, which is natural. I mean, why else would it be valued at $1 billion? So it'll likely be charging people to participate in certain rooms. I don't know about you, but if I'm paying to listen to a virtual panel discussion, I'd like to see the person's face. But hey, that's just me.
The app did come out at a welcome time during the pandemic where people were very much craving social interaction. So then why should you be concerned?
Well, first of all, Clubhouse records all the conversations.
And Stanford Internet Observatory discovered that the data on Clubhouse is unencrypted. So if a breach happens, which it has, hackers can see that data in plain text.
And remember how Clubhouse is invite only? In order to invite other people, users have to grant access to their phone's entire contact list. This could include someone's 10-year-old niece.
So you might be thinking, all they have is their phone number, no big deal, but they have a lot more than just their phone number. Clubhouse actually has the ability to know down to the exact time someone picks their child up from daycare along with that daycare's location. So you can imagine what would happen if this information fell into the wrong hands. The way they get this is that they take phone numbers, match them against other information about individuals. It could be from credit card companies or credit reporting agencies, even those CVS loyalty cards. So all of these companies sell your personal information. So what can Clubhouse do with that info? Well, their privacy policy says they can use it to track you to create new products and to sell it for targeted advertising.
Hey, I worked for a media and advertising company and I'm all about targeted advertising. But I should be the one who decides if I want to share my information with Clubhouse and not someone else who happens to have my phone number. So if you haven't been invited yet, isn't it a bit troubling that they have access to all this information about you, and yet you can't even use the app?
So you might be thinking, why don't you just delete the app? The only way you can delete the app is by emailing Clubhouse at this very lengthy email address.
Here's the catch. Clubhouse's privacy policy says, sure, you can delete the account, but they can still use all the information they have on you from before you deleted your account. So then what can you do to protect yourself?
If you're from California, you can email Clubhouse, ask them what information they have about you, what you do with that info, and you can also ask them to delete your information.
And that's not because they like Californians, but it's because they're required to under California state law.
Virginia's the second state that's going to be doing something pretty similar to California's act too. Other states in the union, though, unfortunately they don't do this yet, so Clubhouse's privacy policy says quite clearly that they won't and don't have to tell you anything about your personal information that they have.
Speaking in my personal capacity and not on behalf of the company that I work for, what I believe is needed is a federal privacy law across the country so that all Americans can consistently know what information about them a company has and what is being done with that information.
So many people are out there offering opinions about just about everything. We're living in an age of media overkill and information overload. And personally, if I'm going to be on some sort of waiting list, an invite-only list, I want the COVID vaccine, not a Clubhouse invite.
If Clubhouse is a club, thank you, but I don't need to be on the guest list. And that's this week's mini musing.